Throw a tech deck or something in that thing. Remember those little finger skateboards?
Tech deck. That's taking it.
Finger skateboard.
That's super old.
Yeah.
Welcome to the wall.
Bam.
All right. You gotta really think about that intro.
Welcome
Yeah, we
back.
definitely.
everyone.
That's crazy because he had like a whole time to fix that.
Yeah.
And he still did it.
And he still did it.
I'm sorry.
Mm.
I got excited. I saw the opening for the layup.
I know you gotta go for it. I feel
You know what I mean?
So, what's on the agenda today?
Well, we got special guests
Well, we should
in the
definitely
building.
introduce ourselves first. you
Yeah,
know.
along with ourselves.
Absolutely. So, it's your boy Bang Bang Boomerang in the gang.
Sir Django.
Ms. Barbados.
Right for Tony.
Right foot.
And who else we got over there?
Who was that guy?
I'm GameMasterHerb. What's going on?
What up, dog?
Who was that?
So excited for this one.
Very
So
excited.
Man, I guess should we jump right into it?
Yes.
So we got a special guest here. Met him at Controllerizer here in Atlanta.
If y'all don't know, here in Atlanta, Controllerizer is like an anime, lo-fi hip hop gaming event, I guess you can say, every Monday. At various spots in Atlanta. It moves.
Yeah.
But I mean, right now I think it's permanent. It's over here in the West End. So if you're interested, you need to Google that shit. So
Super Google it. We went our first time and was like, what the hell is this? Had
Yes.
no idea this was in Atlanta. And was like, where was this when I was growing up? And it's like,
where was it?
I don't feel like people believe that video games and clubs can mix.
That's what I'm trying to change.
Yes.
Yeah. Little by little, different venues, different spots. The event technically is Press Start ATO. Me and Controllerize and several other people, artists and food, and we come together and make like a whole thing happen. It was at the deep end, and the deep end closed.
Yes, I heard articles about that. It didn't seem like it was a friendly.
I mean, sometimes it just goes to show you. It made me feel really good, actually, because it just goes to show you that even people who own multiple bars can mismanage their money too. Like even when you're
That's
rich,
crazy.
like
it can
you can still
happen.
fuck up. You know what I mean? So
That seems like a petty victory. You know what I mean?
I mean, it just happens.
It happened
you
to
know?
them too. So shit. Don't be so hard on yourself.
Like, I guess what I'm saying is, like, when I spend too much or when I make a bad money decision, I'm like, oh shit. But then when you look at like someone who like you think has it together necessarily, yeah. Everybody, it's all like
relative.
levels. It's relative.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like behind the scenes.
For sure.
So the event together is Press Start.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Press Start ATO.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
So how did that merger kind of come together? Because when we first went, we saw this whole straight hip hop scene.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole gaming side, and it's like this is like two different worlds like colliding.
Yeah.
And it kind of was like I guess it was kind of clear.
I mean, when we first went, back in December, was it? I can't remember. But we heard about it. Somebody had told us about it, and we wanted to check it out because I'm a big gamer myself, and we just want to check it out because it sounded like a really cool place to meet other people that are like-minded. So when I walked in there, I was like, I'm in heaven.
Yeah.
They got games all on the wall. They got the music because it kind of brought me. It brought me exactly back to that spot where I was like just turning into a teenager, and I would sit at home, playing the games and with my music box sitting next to me in my little boom box, and I would play the games and I would listen to the music, and it created like my little scene in my room, and I would play games and listen to music, and it's like I'm here. I'm home. So that's what it was for me. And I remember Bang Bang saying, we gotta meet the guy who does this because this is insane.
Yeah.
So really, and we didn't know who you were at the time, but we quickly found out.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's dope.
So how did that begin? I guess
So Controllerize has been doing lo-fi sets and like beat culture
for a long time.
For a while.
Because Steel Drums.
Stolen Drums.
Stolen Drums. Okay.
Yeah.
We saw him. Me and Rightfoot saw Stolen Drums at a concert years ago by 5 Points.
Oh,
Remember the guy with the beat machine?
Yeah.
With your friends that record as well. And I was like, man, they got Stolen Drums up there. Yeah.
He's blowing up, man. He's doing his thing.
Man.
He's pushing hard. So they've been going for a while at different venues. doing the beat culture thing. And then they were at the deep end, and I had a friend who was working at the deep end, who was managing it. And I've been doing my game night arcade thing for a while at different bars. And he had come to my Wednesday thing for a while, and he was like, hey, bring your shit. Let's do it on Wednesday. Let's make it a whole thing. So then we kind of collaborated, and then it became like a whole nother thing. And then when the deep end closed, a couple weeks later, Mike Sick was like, hey, meet me at the Monday Night Garage. Let's let's continue this. And now I think it's even better than it was. Like,
absolutely.
It's a whole nother level. So that feels really good. And really, I mean, I think hip hop and games go together really well. And we brought like artists in and food trucks and things like that. And it's like, it's just something cool to do on a Monday. And
because
really,
Mondays suck.
Yeah, because Mondays suck. Yeah.
No, I want to, if I can pause, he just like hip hop and games. Tony Hawk, Pro Skater, and so many games have so many, to me, prolific soundtracks.
Oh, yeah.
But we never really, you're right. I never really thought about it in that sense, but I mean, it's been a marriage for a pretty long time.
Yeah.
Ever since the PS2 era, when I guess games had enough space to get like big enough soundtracks. Yeah. I'm thinking of like Vice City and
for sure.
So many great soundtracks back in the day.
Definitely Tony Hawk, and then the other one that was really big for me was Jet Set Radio.
That's underrated for a lot of people,
man. Because it was like all of a sudden like
very
graffiti,
eclectic.
And like this sort of like gang culture, like in Shibuya, rolling around
with the cell shaded graphics,
right? Tagging shit and
one
like
of my favorites.
Yeah. That like brought out that like sparked a lot of things I think for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You never played that game?
Nah.
Oh, super game.
It is amazing.
Nah.
It's like the main like first cell shaded game ever, and because of that, I think
on Dreamcast.
Yeah,
originally, by
on
the way.
Dreamcast.
So
Yeah.
shout out to Dreamcast.
Yeah, absolutely. I can talk about that all day.
It's a dope game.
Crazy.
It's a dope game.
But in terms of like hip hop and gaming, it's.
Nah.
I'm glad you cultivated that.
It's a good fusion. I've been doing game nights and arcades for a little while, but like definitely Press Start has been like a big peak of like what can be possible when you mix music culture in general and gaming. I've always wanted. I miss going to arcades. They all kind of died.
Super died.
Yeah.
And as a proud queer, it's like. There aren't really a lot of places where you can go and have that sort of experience that is inclusive to all kinds of people. So that's something I try to push. All kinds of people can come in and just play a game, have a good time, dance, eat, contribute. And I'm like still pushing wherever I can do it all the time.
Yeah.
Really.
What's so great about it, you guys make it feel like home, where you have so many different age ranges there, so many different ethnicities. It's like you're really bringing the gaming community together.
Appreciate that, man.
And you guys did that using music and not shying away from, who you guys are.
Yeah.
Which is so
bunch of geeks.
Super geeks, right? But somehow you figured out something in the gaming world that nobody can figure out. How do you get amateurs, people who don't really play games like that, out? Right. Something that you do that I appreciate was your wall, the wall that you had with the prizes.
The challenge board.
The challenge board. Yeah. Now that's something that I gravitated. Like that was the first thing I saw.
Yeah.
In the midst of the games was the challenge board, and it kind of gave you like it was like a perfect place to take a date, a perfect place to take you just meet up someone that you may want to talk business about the same kind of thing. But it gave you something to do, not just, here's the games, just play them.
Right.
It gave you something to work for.
I appreciate that.
And I really like that. I never won any. I think you won one of them.
I did.
But I didn't. But it was good to think that I could try.
They're changing all the time. I'm still trying to find a place for them at the new venue, but I put up that challenge board at every one of my events. So wherever I can make this happen. For a while there, I was doing 4 nights a week. Now I'm down to 2 nights a week, but I have some other events coming up soon.
Yeah.
And basically, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do appreciate esports and tournament culture, but I have to say, after doing this for a while, it's been 6 years.
Yeah.
And the thing is, not everybody wants that, and also it doesn't always appeal to everybody. So it's I feel like having. True. All kinds of games brings everybody together. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Do you do this full time?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Full time. It's been about a year and a half. Basically, it's like, I go to different bars, venues. I pitch them, hey, if you want TVs and games and you want like all the good shit, I'm the guy. And then, I work together with DJs or artists. And
bro, what is that called? What job? What's on your resume right now?
I mean, I call
Game master.
I'm a game master. Yeah. I mean, I make arcades happen.
Yeah, there you go.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So game, okay.
But like I'm trying to like kind of reimagine the arcade because I feel like the big machines, like first of all, nobody knows how to repair those anymore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And most of the time they only have one game on each, and nobody has quarters anymore.
And
they're huge, right?
He said so nobody has quarters.
I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people don't even carry cash. It's all card or
No, you're right.
Whatever.
I thought it was hilarious.
Yep.
So, it's like, I'm trying to, like, kind of think, like, what's the best way to take that, like, sitting on the couch with your friends vibe with the arcade vibe, but in a new way.
And that's another thing I really liked, because that's something that, like Mario Party back in the day, where you can just sit on the couch with your friends or family, and I love that aspect. So to put it in a public space, I really thought that was genius.
And that's thank you. And that's the other thing is that, like, I've been collecting since Atari, and
Atari.
it's like
OG.
It's like there's all these people I know that collect games on Instagram. You'll see these whole walls full of games, and I'm like, that's great, but at a certain point, it kind of ends up being a little. It's very American in the sense that, like, look at all this shit I have.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's cool, but what are you going to do with that
Exactly.
stuff? Yeah. So one day I was just like, I want to, like, put this into a place that people can actually use it, because it's just sitting there. I mean, it's just like more junk.
Get the actual
utility. Yeah. I like that. Because I myself have a ton of old games and consoles, and they do just sit there. But now that we have the podcast, I have a chance to, like, pull it out, and we can stream with it. We can do other things with it.
You don't have to rationalize why you're a hoarder.
Yeah. Exactly.
Exactly.
Hoarder with a purpose.
It's nice to have an outlet for that sort of thing. And like you said, like, for real, a lot of gamers are very introverted, and a lot of gaming culture these days is all about keeping people kind of isolated, playing online, not really like getting social. And I feel like we have to meet each other. We have to, like, combine our forces.
Right.
Especially now.
Yeah. Especially now. For real.
Especially now.
Because a lot of the smartest people also happen to be gamers, and it's like.
I like the way that you said that, because Bang Bang had said something the other day. We were having a conversation, I don't know if you remember, but about how the gaming culture and everybody in the gaming community, we're like kind of the hardest people to sell to, because we're not stupid.
Right. Yeah.
And we kind of know what we want. We want quality.
Yeah.
And you can't just pump out a shit game and kind of expect us to.
Madden sells a lot. Is that shit quality?
We ain't talking about that.
That's a whole other conversation.
Who still buys Madden?
we can go there.
Do people still play Madden?
I don't want that smoke from the Madden community.
I don't know. I didn't know.
I didn't know. Yeah, that's true. I didn't know people still play Madden.
They definitely do.
I know they still play 2K, but 2K. I don't know about Madden. I didn't
2K had a couple years of, like, bro, then they got it together. Like,
Yeah, they did.
But back, what you were saying, I definitely feel like the game community, like, we're very smart, we're very informed, we research.
We're nerds.
We're nerds.
And so it's like we have to have a place too. Like we need a place to be able to go out and have fun. And a lot of times, like over the years, I moved around a lot in the U.S. and over the years, going to different gaming spots, gaming events, whatever. It's either super like bro, right? Or super like one kind of game. And like not everybody wants to play Smash Brothers. I love Smash Brothers. Not everybody cares. You know what I'm saying?
And
some people just want to play Tetris.
It's just
I'm bad too.
Like he likes Tetris. He likes Tetris.
I'm very bad at it.
Yeah, I mean I enjoy it, but I'm not good.
yeah. Like
it's been a while since I like
put
a lot of time. It's been since Melee since I put a lot of time into Smash.
Yeah, Melee was my last like real hours put into Smash Bros.
So like I play. I have this thing of being like kind of a jack of all trades. Like I could pick up just about any game and be all right, but I'm like master of none. Maybe something old school, maybe like Third Strike or something. But still, there's always somebody better. If I learn anything from gaming, there's always someone better. You think you're hot shit, and then you play someone, and it's just like, wow, how have I even played this before? Like,
damn. And then you know what it is? This might be an anecdote, but it's like the one motherfucker, like, they couldn't have no new shit. They was poor. So they had like the one system for good 10 years. Yeah, and it was like from 3rd grade to high.
Now, granted, and this I'm going a little off topic.
Yeah.
But I do want to say this: we all have that one game.
For sure, we all have one
that we know that we probably might be one of the best in the world.
But I'm saying the reason of how we get to that point is maybe you have an older sibling that had games.
Yep.
And something happened. It's like, hey, shit, you got this hand me down.
Yep.
And I ain't buying you no more new shit. So you just have to be a beast at Crash Bandicoot.
Bro, boom. I had check this out,
Boom.
right? I had my first PlayStation. Apparently, I got a PlayStation with no games. So guess what I had to do? Play the demos. Y'all remember demos?
Exactly.
The demo disc,
of course.
Jam packs.
Oh,
Jam packs.
Of course.
Wait,
Let's go to
what?
Publix.
I had to play a demo disc for a whole year.
So basically,
Publix had like a magazine.
Yeah, they come in the magazine.
Yeah,
So
you
you
get the demo disc.
EGM,
Yeah.
Cool Borders.
You can
I don't
just
know if y'all remember that.
You can just
I
jack
played
them
that
fast.
Metal Gear Solid demo like over and over.
So you mastered like one stage.
Yeah,
You're a
yeah,
beast
No,
yeah. You get like Beast, right? Exactly,
Bro, for me it was
my
Crash
God.
Bandicoot when I think he was in the Great Wall. And he was riding his sister was riding a little thing.
Yeah.
I played that so much I was able to do it with my eyes closed.
Nice.
It was a whole mission with my eyes closed. So yes, we do have that one game where sometimes we have to play for hours.
Unfortunately.
Because
That's crazy.
Well, and that's the other thing. Like gaming consumption has totally changed. When I was a kid, it was like like we had my sisters. I had hand-me-downs. My sisters had an Atari, and then I had a Genesis, and it was like you might get games maybe on Christmas or your birthday, but like it wasn't like now where I just downloaded 20 games last night on PS4. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
no,
like
no.
You had a few games for like the year,
And you had to,
and
I
you
had
just
to
get really
beg
good at
your
them.
parents. I had
Yeah.
to beg my parents to buy,
Beg.
cartridges.
That was no begging. I got
Yeah.
that shit or I didn't.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
I begged. So
Yeah, that was the good old days.
And then if you like, the only exposure to other games would be like your friend down the street or Blockbuster.
That's how we,
That was
yeah.
all.
Yeah,
One
there
person
you
bought
go.
the game, and we
There you
all
go.
played that
Yeah.
person's game.
Yep. That's how I played Halo or like any of those
Oh,
other
yeah, I
games.
didn't have Halo.
Yeah.
I didn't have
Yeah.
Xbox.
Yeah, no, that shit.
And it's different now. I mean, we have so many games. There's my backlog is ridiculous. There's games I haven't even played yet, and it's like sometimes I'm like, why did I spend money on this? But then I eventually get to it. But
It's worth it?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I always do a lot of research. I never buy anything that is looking like trash. Like, or I'll wait.
There you
If it's
go.
$60 and I'm not sure, I'm like, I'll wait till that's 20. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm good with waiting.
Yeah.
yeah.
It pays to be patient. It really does.
Yeah.
Especially now with all these like half-finished games and like games where like you heard about the Tony Hawk 5. So like
No.
it's not
What?
even on the disc. The disc is just a tutorial. The entire game downloads when you put it in. So years from now, when people are collecting those, the game won't exist unless you already have the data somewhere. Because the disc is nothing. The disc is just a tutorial for $60.
What?
Right. So it's like, it's just one of those things where it's
Okay.
like,
But don't a lot of games do that? Because I feel like
No, that's
every
too
time
much.
I buy like a PS4 game,
Yeah.
and I put it into the console for the first time, it does like this downloading
That's, like,
thing
huge.
before I can even play.
I
Yeah.
thought, well,
some
The
I mean,
core
it's like-
games on the disc, though. It's just
for
like
most games, yeah.
updates everything else.
Right.
That's
That's
what
all
you're
that,
downloading.
yeah.
But some games, I mean, like Tony Hawk is an example, but like
Yeah.
there's some games where it's like it's literally just a part of the game, and then you put it in, and the immediate update is like
The rest, yeah.
the rest.
That
of
is
the game.
crazy.
Yeah.
Can they do that?
I mean, they're doing
Yeah.
it as
They
long as
got-
people keep buying it.
yeah.
you know?
So
Yeah.
it's not illegal to sell you some bullshit if you buy it.
They gotta
Right,
throw a
right.
tech deck or something in that thing. Remember those little finger skateboards?
Tech deck. That's taking it back a
Finger
little bit.
skateboard.
That's
Oh,
super
it's-
old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
You
got
know?
a bunch of them still.
I
So-
had no idea.
So I do also have another question. So Herb, when do you go from herb to GameMasterHerb? How is that like? So
I
what
like
was
how
your
you
process?
And
take
this
my
is
question.
that similar to Grandmaster Flash?
Grandmaster Flash and
Yeah.
Funkmaster Flex, like that was what I was thinking.
Okay.
Like,
No.
a group listening to all that, and it's just like, just kind of it rolls off the tongue. And I don't look at myself as like the game master. I look at myself as a game master, as
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
anybody can
So
do it.
you're part of a tribe? Can I be like Game Master Sir Django?
Sure.
Is it like, do I study? Do I go to like top of a
In the
mountain?
temples?
Yeah, and I play video games for about a year by myself. And like I gotta like fight wolves.
And then
or
he come out Batman. Yeah.
something. It's like, how does that work?
I mean, it really just it became a thing. I've been doing this for a while, but like it became a thing once I started doing it full time. I've had a bunch of jobs, and once my a job about 2 years ago kind of like laid me off, and I had some money to like stay afloat for a while. And after a certain time, I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna do this arcade thing full time. I'm gonna push really hard. I'm gonna talk to all these people. I'm gonna get in spots. Like, I'm not gonna like settle for retail anymore. I'm not gonna do it. Like fuck it. Yeah, I'm 33. I've already worked too many jobs. And there's a point where it's like if you have the passion and you have the equipment and you know some people, you're good. You just gotta like
start.
Push. Push. You know.
Now, did the beard come afterwards? Is this like your
the beard has been since I was 15.
Okay.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
It used to be big old chops, and then I just kind of let it go.
I know a lot of guys that would love to have a big full beard.
Yeah,
I can't connect.
That's why I can't be a game master. Like,
you can still be the beard.
You
does
can't
not
be
make
a
the game
master without a beard.
Bro,
You can't be a master without a beard, bro.
yeah, that's like every
Dang,
dude
that's
who
true.
trains somebody.
You gotta get some glue or
That's true.
something.
Because you gotta be like this, so the master be talking shit.
Oh, just
Oh
like-
fuck, you're not ready.
Right.
Yeah,
That's true.
You ain't real.
Even
That's
even
crazy.
Master Splinter.
I was just thinking about
And then you
Kill
gotta like
Bill.
throw an Xbox controller at somebody. Get the fuck
Oh,
out of here.
Right. Now, I don't claim to be really great at any one game, but I probably like give me whatever game and I'll pick it up and already have an idea. You know what I mean?
It's based on mechanics and the logic.
I feel like you're more of a master because to me, you have so much knowledge. Like there's a lot of things that I don't know. A lot of games that I don't know about that you do, and I'm like, well, how does he even know?
This is probably similar to X, therefore I can be good at Y.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah,
formula.
Analogy.
Well, I feel like it's very important. I've always been like an underdog kind of punk sort of dude, and I feel like it's very important to shine a light on things that are innovative and risky because, don't get me wrong, Battlefield and Assassin's Creed and all that's great. But the way that you get to things like that is by people like pushing the boundaries. And,
So
like,
I have to
trying
ask a
things.
question. This came up last podcast about Rockstar. I was talking a lot of shit because I felt like Rockstar was pre-2008.
Okay.
So San Andreas and earlier was
Right.
some
Three,
of the best
man.
shit.
Give it-
Yeah,
give us
Bully
three.
and
Bully,
Manhunt and
All that
Bullies.
PS2 era.
Yeah.
The new shit is good, but it's not San Andreas. So you talk about pushing the boundaries and shit. Like, what's your opinion on Rockstar games? Now,
Red Dead
so
2.
Trash,
Rockstar
boring. It's,
It's trash.
it's
much.
camping simulator 2019.
I can't hear this. I'm taking off my headphones now.
Rockstar is really good at making games with a lot of content, but I think they don't necessarily excel at any one thing because they're always making these games that have like 5 genres in them.
So let's talk about Red Dead Redemption.
Wait.
So
Okay,
I've
when
only
you
played
say-
the first one.
when you
I
say
haven't played the
five-
He didn't play it.
Yeah.
When you say 5 genres in them, what do you mean? Like
It's
like
racing. It's a flying game.
right, it's a sandbox,
It's a
but
shooting-
right,
it's a
it's,
shooting
it's
game.
all kinds of
It's
games.
everything
at
in
once.
one.
So
RPG.
therefore, it's not great at any one of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
Like real talk. When Grand Theft Auto 3 came out,
3 was
it blew up. It changed the whole world of gaming.
3.
But like, let's be real, the shooting in that game, the
oh
driving
yeah,
in
it's
that game,
subpar. Yeah.
But all together, it makes a mosaic. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? All together is beautiful.
Yeah.
But like each individual part, it's not as good of a shooter as Call of Duty. It's not as good of
I
a
see what you're
driver as
saying.
Project
I mean,
Gotham.
yeah.
You're right about
You know
that.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Even the driving is it's not Gran Turismo.
No,
That's
exactly.
a fact.
But
Exactly.
Well, yeah.
It's
I
just
mean,
enough
yeah.
so you
It's
can
not even
run over
Midnight Club.
pedestrians. That's
Right.
all you need.
and really, it's the freedom. I think that's the appeal of Rockstar. It's freedom,
Exactly.
and they don't give a fuck.
And then the
They'll
police.
cuss. They'll,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
could
yeah. The
get
police
hookers. I
chases
mean, whatever.
and all that.
Shit talking
Yeah.
in the background.
Yeah.
all
The
that
radio
stuff.
stations,
Yeah, the
that
radio-
whole thing, that changed.
I think
That
that was the
changed the
best
game.
part
Yeah, that changed
of
the game.
Grand Theft Auto is the radio station.
That
For
started
me,
the music-
culture within the
music
culture. It's
game.
like the meta. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That
Master
fusion
Chief.
of music. Yeah.
3.
So
I don't
Grand Theft
think
Auto
they're
3
like
was-
going anywhere. I think they're fine. I think they know exactly what to do.
Oh, yeah.
But
They in
I
the
would
pocket.
say
They
their
are super
creative
okay.
edge is clearly in the past.
you
is
think
it
he
not?
peaked and it's done?
Did it though?
How has it? How hasn't it?
Bro, they're doing role playing games now with Grand Theft Auto. I mean, the game's transformed to something they didn't really intend.
Oh
But,
yeah.
Right.
but like their
Oh,
online
Grand Theft Auto
game,
Online? Yeah.
yeah,
When I
it's-
finished
it's
Grand Theft
something.
Auto 5,
the novellas.
But you can't finish it.
so
That's what I'm saying. It's like
online
it's
It's
an
like an
evolving
MMO.
game.
is okay. I got to spend $60 on to buy a house. I got to spend real money.
No, I'm saying
to
like
sell in the
so
game.
now they have like a sub game where you have a character and you can't like deviate from that character and you live in the world.
Right. Right. They kind of merged that whole like Second Life. Or Sims
Yeah, it's
idea.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'll
now
fuck
it's
with
like Sims. More.
No.
I mean,
No,
but you got to spend
no.
real money.
With bazookas.
No, you don't have to
Which
spend real
Actually,
money.
do anything? Yeah.
No, you have like say like I own a bar, right? You got to be that bar owner in that world, and then like different people have different roles in the world.
Right.
Like if somebody's like I'm a gangster, he has to be a gangster. That's what he
Oh,
does.
Right.
that's
You
what
choose
mean.
your role and you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so maybe I haven't hopped on in a while.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta get it. They didn't do that on purpose, but
they've been going for a long time though. Before it was Rockstar, they were DMA, and they were making. There's a bunch of N64 games they were making that were all like they're all the same kind of idea in the sense that it's an open world. You can go and do whatever you want, but like I think Grand Theft Auto 3 was the big like jump. And then San Andreas is like the pinnacle.
That's the shit.
San Andreas.
That's what I'm saying.
San Andreas was like incredible.
Bro, you got Sam Jackson, you got DJ Pooh.
Yep.
And
the whole thing where like as you run, you get better at running. As you drive, you get better at driving. That like hadn't happened.
You can be swole.
Yeah. Right. You get fat and shit. Yeah. That like didn't happen. Like, that was not a thing.
You know how real the shit that was for a dude like you can have a 5 car, your sex appeal goes through the roof. You have the little shitty car, the sex appeal is like as much.
I don't know why they didn't. Why they get rid of that? Does anybody ever know? Everybody's always like, "Is this gonna be the one that's San Andreas with better graphics?" And they still
don't do it.
Yeah,
I don't see why not.
I don't either.
The fat CJ, hilarious.
Hilarious. I liked all the hairstyles you could get, and like you could give them tattoos and put it wherever you want and all that. It was like it was customization through the roof.
Real tattoos, real hair, something that's believable.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like some of these other games where you can't even find a fade. Like, all they got is afro and braids.
Unbelievable.
Right? You know?
Can't even find a fade.
I don't have afro, nor do I have braids. And I don't want to get a Caesar haircut on my created character.
The only black dude in 2019 who has braids is Kawhi Leonard and dudes who just got out of jail.
Pretty much.
That's a huge, like, deviation.
That's interesting.
Kawhi Leonard. Who else you know with braids right now?
I'm just saying, like, you go from a guy that just got out of jail, and then Kawhi Leonard is also like, I'm not sure he walks outside other than the court.
I'm a fun guy.
He's a fun guy.
So I have another question for you.
What's that?
Is there any challenges that you've been seeing since this is a full-time thing?
And So first of all, you can't please everybody.
Yeah.
It's plain and simple.
What does that mean?
That means that like
the owners, the customers.
Every venue has its own hurdles in terms of the venue itself, sure. And also like gamers are hard to satisfy sometimes. Like literally I have like 3,000 plus games in the building and like across like 18 platforms, right? But if you don't have that brand new game day one, people are like, whoa, what the fuck, man? And I'm like, whoa, if I were to buy every game day one, I would not have any money. Right. Like, that's not how that works.
Oh, trust me, we found out quick.
Yeah.
We've been buying a lot of gaming fighting games.
Shit is expensive.
And fighting games are crazier than ever because it's 60 for the base, and then you got to get the season
characters.
Like you motherfuckers.
Right. So I kind of like take my time. I have like a method. I've literally never traded anything in my life.
Yeah.
Because fuck GameStop. And
I
mean, let's be real.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real.
Right. They're gonna give you $2 for something you sent 64 yesterday. Like, please.
Yeah.
So I never trade anything in, and I never really buy new. I wait till there's a deal. And I focus on building up the mass of games that I already have. Like making sure if you want to come in and play Aladdin on Sega Genesis, I got it.
Right.
If somebody wants to come in and play Snowboard Kids 2 on N64, I got it.
So you also have obscurity.
Yeah, whatever. Anything. Like right now, literally, I pretty much I only don't own about 3 games right now.
Double Dragons and Battletoads, Super Nintendo.
Absolutely, yeah, of course. Yeah.
As a game master,
that's crazy.
I mean, like, it takes time to build stuff up, so that's one of the challenges. Is like staying current. But usually, that's the thing. I feel like back in the day, when you invite your friends over for a game party, like people bring shit, and that's something that I feel like people
BYOG,
right. And so people have kind of lost track of that. Like everybody expects everybody to just have their own copy, and I'm like,
doesn't make any sense.
Right. Why would 10 people have the same copy of the same game when we're all going to play at that one guy's house? So a lot of times I'm like, if it's a brand new game, I'm like, hey, yo, bring it and I'll give you TV, please. Hook it up. Enjoy, you know?
I want to do a quick rapid fire round.
Okay.
I'm going to hit franchises. I want you to name the top game in the franchise. Super Mario, top game.
Mario World.
Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
So it peaked in 1994.
Oh, well, I don't know about peak, but that's my favorite. Well, top is different from favorite.
Okay,
I'll get you that.
Okay, which one? Top versus favorite.
Top Mario game ever in terms of like impact and design. Yeah. Super Mario 3 on regular Nintendo.
Really?
That was the turning point where after that, every game had a map after that. Every game had multiple characters after that. Every game had 2-player co-op after that.
But I see. My favorite would probably be World. You know what I'm saying?
Because the cape. The cape. That's. I mean, the cape is OP.
What about Purple Yoshi?
And that's where you could like eat whatever and then fly. Yeah.
Okay, let's do Sonic.
Sonic 2. Sonic. Okay, so 2D Sonic, Sonic 2, or Sonic Mania, because Mania is incredible. That it's like maybe like 2 years old now, but
is that the one on the new systems that has everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now, it's about to be when PS4 does their free PS Plus. It's about to be the free game. So get it. Sonic Mania is incredible. It's probably one of the best platforming 2D games I've ever played in my life.
Crash Bandicoot.
Crash 3 Warped.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It had all the pieces. It had all the sets.
Now back in.
It aged very well.
I was out for a
second. Go back now and play it.
It looks great. And then they did the not Reignited, but the Insanity trilogy.
Yeah.
So it still lives.
I'm thinking Spyro, but I don't want to ask about Spyro yet. Give me another franchise. Final Fantasy, maybe?
So I'm gonna say, 7 is the favorite, right, for everybody?
No, it's not.
I mean, but that got all the
his favorite is 8, right?
My favorite's 10.
Yeah.
My favorite's 10 for sure.
I mean, I don't know. So real talk, I like RPGs, but they are my weakest genre. I could name you 5 RPGs that I think are fantastic, but I would not say Final Fantasy is on that 5.
Oh, really?
I want to hear that. Yo, it's ambitious Ace. Yo, what's the top 5 on your list?
Earthbound on Super Nintendo.
Okay.
Grandia 2 on Dreamcast.
Okay.
Skies of Arcadia on GameCube.
Okay.
Legend of Dragoon on PS1.
Oh.
And then
he a real one. He said Legend of Dragoon, y'all.
And then you know what? And then I'm not saying there aren't good new games, because there are.
They're not as.
But so many games that were the best, I think, have already come out. If that makes sense.
I got you.
So the 5th, probably Shining Force 2 on Sega Genesis.
Wow.
It's like a tactics game, but I love Shining Force 2.
Let me just tell you that he's a real one.
Yeah.
No, we know. We know.
I've never heard of any of those.
Whoa. I thought I was going to hear Kingdom Hearts somewhere.
He's the best.
Tomb Raider.
Nope.
Those are not RPGs. Excuse them, but
Wait, Kingdom Hearts is?
No.
Kingdom Hearts is an action RPG.
Yeah, action RPGs.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's a difference.
Because it's not turn-based, you know what I mean? Because you go in and hack and slash.
So
that's true.
What about Wild Arms? I didn't hear
Wild Arms is good too.
You know?
Yeah. But I mean, on the list of ever, it's
what about Pokemon?
You know?
Pokemon. Okay, so I loved Pokemon.
Why y'all joking?
Stadiums.
Boo, Pokemon boo.
Because it was the first time where
Pokemon Stadium was dope.
It makes me laugh the way he said it. It was like, hey, girl. What about that Pokemon?
Hey, y'all tripping. Y'all hating right now.
Whatever.
Y'all super hate.
What was that Pokemon?
I love the stadiums, and you know what? It's funny.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was gonna like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee because they switched the battling to how Go is instead of the random battles. But actually, I think it kind of turned the whole thing on its head, and that's kind of what they needed. Pokemon needed a fresh new reboot.
Yeah.
You know. Plus, I mean, it was really just like a new version of Yellow, but with all the modern convences of new games. You know, which is kind
I'm
of
saying, because those are the OG games.
Let's keep rapid fire going. Fighters.
Best fighter in the entire world ever is Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. And then
Third Strike.
And then
is that NES era?
No.
That's PS2?
Dreamcast, PS2, arcade,
okay,
all that.
Yeah.
And then in the same era, Capcom versus SNK 2.
There we go.
SNK.
That's what I like to hear.
Okay.
And then I really like if we're talking, so I just have to.
So there's weapon based and then there's hand to hand.
Right, weapon based, Soul Calibur 2. Or don't get me wrong, all the Soul Caliburs have been good.
No,
but Soul Calibur
2 is the pinnacle. Yes.
Was that shit?
Yeah, because come on, Spawn and Heihachi and Link, come on, Link in a real fighting game. Oh my god,
that was crazy. That was crazy.
Boy, Yoshi miss you. Shout out Yoshi.
Yeah,
let's do.
So I have to give a shout out to a game that is coming out June 25th, the new Samurai Showdown 7.
Yes.
I just watched a video of that explains all the mechanics. It is like a mix of Samurai Showdown 2, Street Fighter 4, and Soul Calibur 6, but it is deeper than all of those, and it is sick, and I'm ready for it. I already got it pre-ordered, so I'm ready for that shit.
So we're putting that on our list right now.
Samurai Showdown is I hope, I don't know how it's going to do, because SNK fighters never really do well in America, but they're also super deep. Yeah, and classic. It's just people don't always recognize the characters as much as Street Fighter, you know?
Okay.
No.
Rapid fire continues. Obviously, shooters.
Shooters. So wow.
I would say first of all, hold up before we go into shooters. Hold on.
007.
So can we do shooters and first person shooters? Can you tell us both? Because I am a huge FPS fan. RPGs are not my thing, but FPSs, and I'm very glad you mentioned Perfect Dark, because I don't think a lot of people understand
how amazing that shit
how
was.
amazing
what is
Perfect Dark was.
Perfect Dark,
even more so than GoldenEye.
Yes,
even
Perfect
more
Dark
so than
like
GoldenEye.
the spiritual successor to GoldenEye.
Oh, it's not interracial dating site.
Not really.
Anyway,
it could be though. It could be. That sounds about right.
Definitely not. Perfect Dark was that game that made me fall in love with shooters in general. Like whatever. That's crazy.
Same team as GoldenEye, except everything that GoldenEye was, except like fixed, like not slow, not buggy. I love GoldenEye, and that was like what set the bar. But then Perfect Dark was like, you have 80 plus weapons. All of them have double functions.
Woo!
You have cloaking devices. You have a gun. You can throw on the wall, and it becomes a turret.
Laptop gun. You know?
The laptop gun.
You have a gun that can see through the walls, and you can pick off people. That shit was crazy.
That game, I think I played so many hours of Perfect Dark growing up, because I played it for years.
Yeah.
And we used to, like, it was one of those games where you go to your friend's house, because I didn't have it.
Right.
I went to my friend's house, and we would all play it. Her brothers, we would all play it in front of the TV, because you could split it in 4 little sections.
What's that thing called split screen they don't do no more?
Yeah, the thing they don't do anymore.
Borderlands 3 is gonna do it though.
Look, Borderlands we're gonna have to have a whole another podcast on Borderlands 3, because that's one of my favorite franchises as well. But
which is Take-Two Interactive,
which is an FPS,
the owner of Rockstar.
Yeah.
Right, they're carrying that torch of like how games used to be.
Yeah,
and I like that.
Borderlands is a classic, and I really am hoping for big things with this third game. But yeah, Perfect Dark was definitely GoldenEye was great, but Perfect Dark was way better in my opinion.
It was like they refined GoldenEye.
Yeah.
And then of course, Halo Combat Evolved. The very first one was a big step.
Yeah.
2 was a big step because online
Halo?
and all that. That was great.
Halo, Halo changed the game. You don't like Halo? What you doing?
Call of Duty Modern Warfare, man.
Yeah, Modern Warfare. Yeah.
That's
the best Call of Duty.
That changed everything.
But wouldn't have changed without Halo.
That's true.
That's
you
true.
gotta
But
see
it was
what came
different,
before.
Yeah.
I mean, because Call of Duty was realistic. Halo was obviously was.
But they bit
Halo
off each other.
kickstarted the FPS game though.
Yeah,
especially with the online and everything like that. You
But
got to give bigs up to Halo.
I feel like Call of
But
Duty.
Call of Duty's like
mastered it at that point.
Yeah.
Or 2. Then they
But it depends on what you're talking about though, because that's like a military shooter. And
Yeah.
like Perfect
Halo,
Dark was like a future shooter.
like sci-fi, and then Halo was super sci-fi, because
Yeah.
it had the aliens and Master Chief and all.
And
that
it was
crap.
a different experience. It was more Perfect Dark was about having a million weapons and a million options. Halo was like, you can carry 2 guns, and you better get good at them vehicles because they're coming right for you. You know what I mean? Like a whole alien army is coming for you, and you got 2 guns. That's it. You know what I mean?
That's it.
My favorite gun was the one with the spikes. And you shoot at
The needler.
The needler, yeah.
Oh, bro, that was your favorite gun? He did not play the game.
That was my favorite. That was my favorite gun too.
So it's been a while. I mean, Borderlands obviously, and like Portal, stuff like that, Half-Life, all that. But like, it's been a while since I've really been into FPS. When I was really into it, it was like Quake and Unreal and Tribes. Like that was my era.
Oh, he said Tribes.
Tribes was the shit, man.
Yo, I'm loving this guy.
I'm telling you, it's a bastard.
I don't
love
neglect
it.
the old shit. I feel like, and I've said this on every podcast I've ever been on involving gaming. The retro, all games are relevant. They're all even to me. A brand new game that comes out tomorrow is just as cool as something that came out 20 years ago. It just depends on what you want to play. And a lot of people have to get over this graphics bullshit. It may look jaggy, it may look blurry, whatever. If it's a good game, it's a good game, period.
Period.
That is it.
Period.
You know?
True.
And speaking of old first-person shooters, have you ever did you try the Metroid series?
Oh, hell yeah. Metroid Prime 1 is masterpiece.
Oh, my God.
I'm ready for 4. I'm ready for 4.
But they said that they were trying. They said that they were going to. They announced it a couple of months ago, and I saw it, and I got super excited because they said that they're not doing away with Metroid. They're going to try and bring it back. They're working with Retro Studios, which had the first game.
Yeah.
Retro Studios made
the Prime trilogy. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they're teaming back up with Retro, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I need 4 to come out. I've been waiting years.
Too long.
Years. So that was, for me, that was like first person shooter. That was one of the games that I really like. Yeah, this is my shit.
So actually, I have a quick question in terms of this, is probably for all the gamers. Are games equal to movies or albums? So you keep saying this is a masterpiece or this is that. Is it like Outkast, Stankonia? Like this is a masterpiece?
It's different. You can dance, you can listen, to an album. You could watch, you could feel a movie, but you could play a game. So you could do all those things and play.
So what's a masterpiece? Like when you say masterpiece, what's like 5 mics equivalent for like games? You know what I'm saying?
So the reason why I say Metroid Prime is a masterpiece is because Super Metroid was already a masterpiece, and somehow, even though everybody thought they were gonna fuck it up when they turned it into 3D, they took every part of what makes Metroid good and made it into a 3D game successfully without sacrificing anything.
So it's based on a predecessor. So we're talking Godfather 2.
Yes, yes, right. It was like everything that made the originals good, but
you make the sequel even better,
right? And
based off the original,
with all the modern touches. You know what I mean? People were looking for more FPSs around GameCube era. They were like looking for new. More than Doom, more than Quake, like something else, something a higher level. Yeah. Okay. And they like did that really successfully.
Okay. I'm learning some shit today.
I love that. Oof, I can't wait.
More FPS, I could go.
Actually,
Time Splitters 2.
My last
Time Splitters.
Yeah. I'll say my last rapid fire
over here.
My last rapid fire question for you.
What's that?
Is because I can go all day, but Metal Gear. What's the best Metal Gear Solid game?
Ooh, that's a great
Metal
question.
Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah,
first one.
Yeah. Why?
I mean, don't get me wrong. Snake Eater's amazing. But that was the first Put it this way.
His opinion.
I had N64.
Yeah.
And then my buddy had a Saturn.
Yeah.
And then my
Shout
sister's
out to Saturn.
Yeah. Rest in peace. Geez.
Rest in peace.
And then my sister's boyfriend had a PS1, and it was like the minute that I went over to their house and played Metal Gear Solid, I was like,
"You got it."
I was like, "Oh shit, N64 is like for kids." Okay, wow, this is like they're cussing, they're talking about government agencies and like biohazards and like stealth and like you could go through the whole game without killing anybody. Like I was like,
messed me up?
Whoa!
When I was walking in the snow and the footprints were still there.
Yeah, and then they follow you. Yeah, that blew my mind.
Man.
Yeah.
Because at the time,
that's big.
Everything was like evaporate or something.
Yeah. Well, and at the time, like games didn't have that level of immersion. Like the dialogue, the conversations in that game will go on for
actually, you know what?
When you think about it,
that never happened before.
The box is the thing that got me. You
Metal
can
Gear
have the box, bro. I was
Yeah.
like, what?
Metal Gear Solid is one of the reasons why I pay attention to like words today. Because I swear you could like just reading the game and listening, you could basically learn your whole vocabulary based off Metal Gear.
That dialogue had me grip like an anime.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, I'm sorry, I lied. I have one more. Based off your answer for that one, we have to say Resident Evil, obviously.
My favorite Resident Evil, and in my opinion, I think
first one?
the only Resident Evil that I think that gets it right. They all have their things, but this one gets it right in my opinion. Is 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
4 was like
four was
like they own the camp, but this time you can actually combat.
And then he has
successfully.
a little bang.
Yeah.
For some reason.
I like
Oh yeah, he's like
right, a little
it.
swoosh.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Leon.
And you know what else I might add? A lot of people don't like the whole escort mission in a video game where you gotta like escort
I don't
somebody.
mind it, yeah.
But in 4,
It
literally, it was genius. Right? It was like it was a one button for come here, and one button for stay the fuck right there.
Thank
Yeah,
you. That's all you need to do.
Wait,
That's true.
They weren't like running around getting shot or whatever. It was like she would just do this or that.
And I played that on the
it.
GameCube, and that was my favorite Resident Evil.
You remember that they had that chainsaw controller you could buy for that shit?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I did not buy it, but it looked cool.
Look,
What?
I guess that's why I didn't know about it because I probably couldn't.
4
afford
just
it.
recently came out on Switch. So
What?
Yeah, I
They
saw
re-released
that.
shit
I
on.
saw that.
That's how successful that bullshit is.
Yep.
Every system, I'd be like, God damn.
yeah, they just keep going.
Yo, in 10 years,
5 took a
Resident
dip.
Evil 30th anniversary.
in your brain. We put it in your
Yeah.
brain now.
Yo,
Right.
BR, you used to run around, running the walls,
Yep.
run away from zombies and shit.
Yeah.
5 took a dip, 6 took a big dip, and then
you think
7
about
was
7?
like
Oh.
on its way back up.
No,
And
7
then-
was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it was. You know what I liked about 7? It was way different than any other
Yeah.
Resident Evil game.
It was like
I've
back
ever
to like the
played.
pure essence of like survival horror.
Yeah.
You know what
Nah,
I mean?
Yeah.
they got it right with 4. I want to run around and shoot motherfuckers.
True. I want to feel powerful.
They gotta,
4
but they
lets
gotta
you feel that.
innovate. They gotta innovate
Man,
in some
fuck
way. They
that.
can't keep the same.
That's what happened in Guns N' Roses. They fucked up.
I mean, but they didn't fuck up though. It said Resident Evil 7 was
7's
well
good. 7's good.
received.
Yeah.
It was well
Better,
received.
a lot better than 6. That's for
Oh,
sure.
6 was a
See
was a
what you just
straight.
said?
6 was an
It's
action
based
movie.
on the predecessors.
6 was
boo-boo.
bullshit.
Based on the predecessors.
Boo-boo.
So a bunch of Fast
Boo-boo.
Furious movies come out. You're gonna say this one is good just because it's as good as Fast and Furious 3 or 4, whatever.
Right.
but because let's say 7, 8, 9 are trash, that's why you're saying it's good.
Well, and it's like, and then they did the 2 remake, which don't get me wrong, the 2 remake is great, but I'm like, just give me 4 part 10, bro.
Yeah.
Just give me more 4. I will play a Resident Evil 4 like game years and years
that's
and
what
years
I'm
and years.
saying.
Give me more of that.
Yeah.
You know?
So I'm done.
And you know what? The newest Spider-Man, I feel like they understood because they basically just made Spider-Man 2.
Yes.
With the swinging.
But really, really good.
Yeah.
But like modern. And that's like all you got to do. You just got to find the thing that works and do that.
Yeah.
You know?
It's movie shit.
Yeah.
It's like you got to remake the movie, but I see the analogy now.
Yeah.
So I think The Godfather 2 is a great analogy.
There you go.
Yeah. So I mean, do you have any more questions?
No.
The rapid fire was
that was clutch.
Yeah.
I feel like all the ones I
really-
picked are like some years ago, but sometimes, like
that's what I'm saying. New shit isn't as good, in my opinion. It's not. It's not as powerful. It's not as impactful.
No, I will say that
for us though, but like there's kids that are like 9 and 10 right now who are like, oh shit.
But then
you
you
know?
have like
West
you have like
I'm about to say.
you have like
Yeah.
God of War, who just that game
not
came
as
out last year.
powerful.
I disagree.
Say
That
what?
game was
Say
really
what?
good.
What is he talking
That-
God of War is not
I would
that
agree.
powerful.
I
I would
think
agree.
okay.
It's
I
powerful?
think my conspiracy, my conspiracy, allegedly. I feel like games nowadays, compared to back in the day, the stories are much richer. The cinematics are a lot better, and I actually feel like somebody's telling me this awesome, great story while I'm being able to
We
play
got
the game.
screenwriters who couldn't get into Hollywood, so they're trying to make it in video
Right.
games.
Oh,
You're not
I
a
mean-
fucking filmmaker.
That's-
Make the
that's
goddamn
dope,
game.
bro.
I mean,
It's
but
like-
I feel like the stories are way. I mean, I don't know if I'm wrong, but I feel like stories are way
absolutely.
better.
It's more immersive now. Yeah.
It's more immersive,
And that's the thing though.
I'm like,
years ago, it was all about like in the 2D days, right?
Yeah.
16-bit, all that. It was all about the manual and all about like reading about this whole world
missed the
and
manual.
then playing just the gameplay part.
Yes.
Because they didn't really have a ton of story.
I
back
remember
then.
the manuals.
You know what I mean?
remember.
And so now it's like now you don't really need the manuals, and that's why manuals are like 2 pages.
But you
now.
can't have the
Yeah.
feeling of buying a new game and sitting on the toilet reading the manual.
Right, or like on the way home
You
from
know?
Toys R Us
Okay,
with the
I'm
manual.
I'm just saying.
can't
you
believe
know?
I didn't do that. I didn't do that.
Shut up. Shut up.
I never did.
That was a
never
whole
did
part
that.
of gaming.
That was
now.
a thing.
It
That
was,
was a
yeah.
thing.
I've always
Because then your imagination does the rest of the work. Like when you read a book, your imagination does all the work.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know?
that's true. It does take that part away. But I
toilet?
severely
Oh.
no your imagination.
Oh, my bad. It seemed like a toilet.
I mean,
thing.
but yes, it does the work for you, and there is a difference there. And I appreciate all the old scroller type games and 2D. I love it. I loved it because I played it. But nowadays, I am a sucker for a good story, like the Mass Effect series. That story captured me and it kept me, and I still play it to this day.
Right,
I've
and
even read the books.
Hey, rapid fire
Prior.
question. Did you like Andromeda?
No.
Nobody did. Nobody did.
So I think games nowadays, like it's like a whole production.
Yeah.
It's so much more goes into it. You have voice actors, you have cinematics, you have storylines, you have teams of writers, and I just really appreciate what they have evolved to.
For sure.
And I'm really excited to see with this next console generation.
Can I make an analogy?
What's going to happen? Go ahead.
So if I'm watching porn and there's a whole
It had to go there.
there's a whole
Right.
there's a whole police chase. Is the porn better?
I mean, what does a police chase have to do with
Exactly.
porn? I mean,
so if
I
I'm
don't
playing
understand.
a video game, it's like after
Well,
some-
yeah, but some people play games for the gameplay entirely, and some people play games for the story, and some people play games for both.
Fair
You know what I mean?
enough.
It just
I didn't
depends on
know
what you
that.
want. I'm more of a gameplay person.
That's what I'm saying.
what you're saying.
See what I'm saying?
But
I'm
like,
more of that.
if like a good story can
like-
grab me, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? It just depends. It just depends.
Like you didn't tune into the porn to see a car chase.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
saying.
I don't play Call of Duty for the story. I don't give a fuck.
But when
I
you
just wanna
still
shoot
be
people.
interested-
Right. I don't play Street Fighter.
Yo,
for the
like-
story
at least
either.
I
I can't wait for
Yo, y'all talking about me in toilets.
Huh. Well,
You know,
this is an interesting car chase.
I'm saying for an analogy
I
perspective,
mean,
like
doesn't make it bad.
How is it gonna turn out? I don't know.
But it doesn't make it that much better. You
It
know?
just changes your interest. It doesn't make it.
Okay,
Let me
so-
tell you, the games that
doesn't make
can
it
weave
good
both
or
of those
bad.
together like seamlessly, that's a masterpiece.
Okay, there.
I'll give you some masterpiece games. You ready?
Yeah.
From all genres. Beyond Good and Evil.
okay.
Metroid Prime, absolutely. I think honestly, I think Horizon Zero Dawn was actually like amazing.
We played that game like interchangeably. That was a good ass game.
It did a lot of things that like it took from a lot of other games. Like it's totally Far Cry and also Witcher and also several things, but like it does it in a way that it's like I care about this story and I get to kick ass.
The gameplay was insane.
Insane. Also like, well, I mean, if we're talking Chrono Trigger. Like way back, like
that soundtrack is
let me say, I'm loving your knowledge right now.
The story and the gameplay were like
that.
Boom.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could go on forever.
So
we should let's move.
But I mean,
this is amazing.
So yeah, I've loved this conversation. I'm so in my nerdy element.
Cool.
Last two questions that I have.
Sure.
What are the next steps for Game Master, or what's for the future that we're looking forward to?
I'm working with 3 other groups on multiple events that are coming up.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to do more weekly spots. Things come and go. Bars close. Students go out of town. I had a thing at GSU, and it's summertime, so they were like, "Hey, we'll call you in the fall." I'm like, "Cool."
That makes sense.
I'm basically like, I just want to keep pushing this atmosphere of inclusivity and not just every kind of person, but every kind of gamer. Like if you want to come in there and play fucking, Kirby's Avalanche or some shit, like I want to make sure everybody can play what they want to play, whether it's nostalgic or new. You should be able to play whatever. It shouldn't be just fighters or just this or just that. There are places for that.
Yes.
Absolutely. If you want to go to a tournament, it's there. If you want to go to Final Round, it's there. VS Realm, absolutely. But I'm like, what about all the other gamers? You know what I mean? So as long as I can keep pushing that, and I mean, as long as I don't get tired of doing this. So essentially more events, collaborating with more people, more creative people, more musicians, more artists.
Okay.
I feel like just games you can't write on just that. And, it's like you have to bring things together because gamers appear in every other kind of culture. We're all out there doing all our regular life things, and then we go home and play video games.
Oof, that's real. That hit me. You got to wear different hats.
Yeah.
The hats have to be many.
That's what's up. That was a good answer.
Yeah, and I guess the last question I had is really what my original question was when I messaged you so long ago. Games for groups. Great group games.
I'll give you modern ones because
like a top 10 or like a top whatever you decide.
So of the past 5 years,
okay.
Lovers in the Dangerous Space-Time. It's on Switch. It's on PS4. That game is like one of the coolest co-op games I've ever played in my life.
What's it called again?
Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time.
I messed my eyes up. I was like, what is it?
It's 4 player.
Well, sounds like a toxic relationship.
You're like, I know.
Perfect night.
It's like you're 4 players. You're all inside of a spaceship, and you're all running around the spaceship to be the different parts of this. One person runs the shield, one person drives, one person shoots, one person does the big cannon, and then outside of that, you all drive this ship in a bullet hell style universe and fly around and try to find.
I heard about this game.
No,
it looked
really
dope.
Otherwise, if somebody fucks up, you can yell at them.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You all got to play your role, and then sometimes you can switch, but it's all about working together for a common goal.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard
that's dope. That's dope. Okay.
Another one, it just came out. What is it? Team Sonic Racing.
Really?
So
is that good? I've been wondering if that's good.
So Sonic movie is gonna suck, right? But he still has some good games. And I think I was just watching a thing about it. The Completionist. He was talking about how so on paper, right? It's Mario Kart, but in order to win, it's not based on each person's points. You have to win as a team. You can pass each other items. You can leave slipstreams for each other that the other people can follow.
Say what?
You all have to you pick a team and you have to, in the multiplayer, have to win with your team. And that hasn't really happened in a racing game before. Not like that. So I watched this whole thing on it and it looks amazing. And there's a lot to it. There's a ton of shit to unlock, a ton of trophies. I'm really excited to try that out.
Okay, cool.
Then there's another game called Crawl. It's on Switch. It's on Steam. I think it's on PS4. It's a roguelike. It's randomly generated. One person plays the hero. The other 3 people play the enemies in the dungeon. And then when
that's interesting.
Oh, that is very.
And then when the hero dies, you swap. So like, you know, you get to be the enemies, which is much like
Manhunt.
You writing this list down, Bang Bang? I need you to.
It's recorded.
Okay,
yeah, it's recorded. We have it.
So just like Perfect Dark back in the day, I don't know if you remember, they had co-op mode where you and a person can go through the game.
I remember.
But they also have counter-op mode where one person is Joanna Dark, the main character, and then the other person.
I don't think I ever played counter-op mode.
Dang,
The
I
other
played
person-
co-op
so
all
much
the
fun.
time.
It was so much fun.
That's like
I never did the counter-op. I did the
You know what I'm
co-op
talking
all
about?
the time.
So much fun.
Right, so the other person is a randomly, like, endlessly spawning bad guy in the level. So, like, the main character, player one, walks around and shoots that guy. They just pop out like Agent Smith, like another person. And then they just, you know, try to prevent. And that's like, it's just cool. It's like that never really happened before. Not quite like that.
it's like deadly hide and go seek or something.
Yeah. So, Crawl. And then, let me think of something else real quick. So there's a game that is literally 20 cents on the Switch store. It is called Fly O'Clock.
Why is it on the store?
Dang.
It's called Fly Your Kite.
Fly O'Clock, like
Fly
5 o'clock,
o'clock.
but like Fly O'Clock.
Oh.
It's real simple. It's like a quick little game. Your little flies on the face of a clock, and the hands go by at different speeds, and you have to hop around without getting hit by the hands. So
we
like,
never do that.
it's real quick. It's like a one-button game.
That's perfect for us. Right
But it's one of those games where, like, you know, you get a couple beers and, like, you're all trying to avoid it really quick and be the last one standing. It's fun as hell. 20 cents. I'm like, hey.
I'm trying to figure out why I'm paying 20 cents for a
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
The
Yeah,
Switch
just
store
do it.
has some incredible sales.
no,
Incredible.
they
25
do
cent
actually, because we
Incredible.
downloaded like the new Tetris for free.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The new
Tetris.
99?
Tetris 99.
Yeah, 99.
Yeah.
Yeah, for free, and it's actually pretty cool.
I'm gonna tell you, in the past month, I've spent $60 on Switch games. That got me 26 games. Like,
That's
the sales
crazy.
are fucking
Okay,
crazy.
Nintendo.
Yeah,
Shout out.
Nintendo's
Come
coming
out.
back. Nintendo's coming back.
They better do
Better
something.
represent.
Right. So
Yeah, they're pushing.
I don't know any other group.
I mean, no
games.
pressure.
Yeah.
Those are great
those
games.
Are gems right there.
Those are great games.
Obviously, Smash is always cool.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that never really gets old.
game.
Yeah.
Of course.
I think they have a long time now before whatever Smash 6 is going to be like.
Oh no.
Ultimate's going to be like a decade or something.
Oh, yeah.
If that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
they don't
they're
sit on
gonna
that for a
milk that
while.
one for a while.
Yep.
That's what they
I don't
do.
even know how many other characters are coming out.
They'll figure it out.
They're probably gonna leak them
Hopefully
out.
more
slowly.
Sonic people, just saying.
That'd be
I would love
nice.
Tails.
I would love Robotnik.
I would love
Tails,
Robotnik.
I would
Yeah.
love
That'd be dope.
Robotnik.
Robotnik would be pretty cool too.
That'd be dope.
His
I also
little
want to
egg
see.
body.
Okay. All right. So one more, and it's a classic, and it is
Yeah.
on modern consoles, but it's also been on more
I always look
consoles
like that.
than any other franchise other than Tetris, and that is Bomberman.
Ooh.
Now here's the issue with Bomberman in a modern context. Terrorism kind of fucked up, you know.
It's true. But he's
Man,
so
we can still get Bomberman out here. Can we? Come on.
He's looking at
Yeah, we just gotta
Bomberman
do
out
a
here.
disclaimer.
Bomberman is a
Like Dave
big
Chappelle
deal
game.
What's the
in
name?
Japan.
What's his name?
Bomberman.
What do you do?
Bombs men.
Oh.
It's true. It's true.
He bombs.
All right.
Yeah, that's a wrap for that.
So this has been amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
we
y'all very much.
appreciate you so much for coming out.
For sure.
So much.
Dope.
This has definitely been amazing. Hopefully we'll see you again.
Yes, obviously
anytime.
part 2. So
Obviously.
a lot of things we didn't get to today.
Oh yeah.
Find me on Instagram. It is GameMasterHerb. All my
Yes.
events, anything I'm doing shows up there.
Yes.
Plain and simple.
And if you're in the
Support.
Atlanta area, please check out his events. Press Start is not the only one. You also have Pint and Play?
Pint and Play is every Tuesday at the Georgia Beer Garden. Press Start is every Monday at the Monday Night Garage, and I have a couple other new ones starting soon.
Yeah. And
Website?
we can literally like
Busy
walk
man.
there.
Yep.
You got a
You
website,
definitely
Busy
see us
man.
there.
Just Instagram.
Instagram?
I'm
Instagram.
pure and simple, like just straight arrow.
Best
Yeah,
place
cool.
to be.
Yeah, I know it's blowing up more than a lot of other things right now. Like
Yeah.
Instagram has been going for a while, but I feel like now all the eyes are on that. You know.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Absolutely.
That's true.
Especially with it's linked with Facebook.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this has definitely been amazing. Definitely check out GameMasterHerb at your nearest gaming venue. You know what I'm saying? We will definitely be there as well, supporting.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. This has been amazing.
And yeah, so any other social media plugs we want to put out there? Welcome to the wall.
Follow us.
Yeah.
Of course, follow us. You know, we out here in the streets.
Yeah.
I know the interview kind of ran over, but you know, you have your news that you want to talk about briefly.
I do.
Okay. Nah.
Yeah, I was like, never mind.
No, I gotta do
got the
that.
news.
I gotta do that next time.
Okay.
I
Right.
gotta
Cool.
do that next time.
Sir Django out here with scripts. I know you got 3 for tonight.
Yeah, shit. Just check out on the. We drop a link to the stream for this one.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
we
we
just
will.
got the
screen.
So
Cool.
you can watch it.
And the link, how to YouTube? The link below.
Like
That's very
you know,
crazy.
people say that all the time, and it'll never be a link there.
Yeah.
It's right. It's right here. It's right here.
Yeah, that's true.
That's super bad because they control where the link is.
That's
What?
true. That's true.
Where the
So
link? We're gonna drop the link though.
we definitely gonna drop the link. We also have Right Foot Tony in this thing. Shout out, man.
Your music channel.
Catch us on the Wednesday night
Yeah, I want
streams
that.
on Facebook.
Definitely catch us on the music.
The
night.
3 of us Wednesday night streams at
Streaming.
8:30 on Facebook.
We won our first match.
We did.
No,
win our first match.
wait. There's a caveat to that. It was technically our first match that we won.
Yeah.
Yes, we
We
didn't. We,
won
didn't ride
before.
on the
Oh, you
backs of
talking about
another
Black
team.
Ops?
Yes.
But
Yeah.
somebody
I'm proud of
else
y'all.
won,
Yeah, I'm proud
and
of
he
y'all.
died super early. And I don't know where he was hiding, but he won for us. This is the one we won.
Yeah, we
Nice.
won
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
For the
that's right.
first
We
time.
did.
We
did with that one.
teamworked that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we
No,
were on
we-
a team that won.
We teamworked it. Don't even.
No, this one we did.
No, I'm saying
That
yeah,
first
Yeah,
one.
the first
The
one.
first
somebody,
one, no.
Somebody was like
we
really good.
didn't do that.
Yeah, we won.
Shout out
that.
to that rando that did that.
Shout out to
for
the
us.
random.
Shout out to them. You know
And
who you
shout
are.
out-
Or
We're
you
gonna
don't.
keep recruiting ambitious ace because that's been our 4th member. You know,
Yeah,
what I'm
we're gonna keep
Look,
convincing
man.
him. He ain't come to the
Listen,
dark side
listen,
yet,
listen.
but we gonna
We
make him
would have
do
won
it.
quicker.
If Black Ops get to like about $15, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Send
so
a
we
letter.
won't
Like
see
how
him
it is.
again. That's okay.
Wait. So what's your FPS for now?
Oh, right now I'm digging Apex Legends.
Yeah.
All right.
Apex.
Yeah,
I'm in the
Apex
same
is
universe, Titanfall 2.
Okay, hey, that's my game too.
Yeah.
That's my game too.
I like
Let's
that.
get on
Maybe
that
we
too.
need to start streaming Titanfall
Yeah.
too. 'Cause,
Hey, y'all got
It is
it.
cheap
We
as
do.
hell.
Y'all
We
should've
just bought it
bought
for
it.
$7.
Yeah.
So
I might
also,
turn
It's
to
a
you
great
and
game.
just until it turns $15. I don't know.
Yeah.
so speaking of plugs, do you guys want to talk about the Discord and what's the PS4 gamer tag?
Oh, PS4, you can find us at WTTW podcast on PSN
Yeah.
network. And as far as the Discord, I think it's the same thing.
Yeah,
WTTW
same thing.
podcast.
Yeah. Catch us
Yeah.
on Twitch. I did my first Twitch.
Oh yeah, WTTW podcast on Twitch.
Yeah.
Bang,
Welcome
bang.
to the wall.com.
Yeah,
Yeah. All that stuff.
all
Yeah.
that stuff.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right Foot Tony, you got some stuff coming out music wise, right?
I hope so.
Yes. That's definitely coming
I
along.
definitely keep telling myself that.
Are you on Bandcamp yet? Huh?
I'm not on Bandcamp yet. Just SoundCloud.
Progress.
Yes.
Just SoundCloud.
Is it available for a purchase?
On SoundCloud?
Yeah, they got an album.
Nah, man.
You put them on
It's
the
a
spot,
process,
man.
man.
The music for the people is free for right now.
It's
out
free.
there.
That
Right now?
download button, you can hit it for free.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Drop me on that credit though, or I will
Definitely
sue
got
you.
credits.
oh,
I'm joking. I won't sue you yet, unless it blows up.
Unless it blows up, then you'll see.
Yeah, then
Okay,
you gotta get the payments. You get the money, my G.
I mean, I won't sue you,
asterisk.
Allegedly. Yeah.
Check
because
out
then
the
they won't
link.
use it.
Check out the link below.
Check out the link below. See if you can get sued.
Anyway,
So
all
I guess
right,
you
guys.
close this out, my G.
Yes.
Yeah, shit. This has been a great episode. We're gonna have the
Yes.
game master.
That's so dope.
You are trash.
That's so dope. I'm gonna
All
take
right,
something
you
off the
guys.
line for next one.
All right, so hope you enjoyed this. Check us out next time.
All right. Peace.
I don't know where to look.
All of those. You just look at them.
I'm pretty.
Oh yeah, we got close up there.
He's like,
Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
yeah,
a
my
minute,
bad.
All right.
All right.
All right, guys. I'm out.